I got to ask you about your Niners, man. What's going on? Is it just a salary dump? Is it are they going to just pay Purdy all this money? I think Purdy's a serviceable guy. I don't know if Purdy's Joe Montana. I'm just going to say, doesn't he need the roster around him, though, to be successful? Like, you've kind of depleted the roster, and now you're going to pay this guy to be the savior. Is that true?
Well, first of all, who doesn't need the roster around him?
No doubt.
You give any team a few injuries in important spots, or considerable talent drops in certain spots, and I think Kansas City was probably a pretty good example of that in the playoffs last year. They're just a different team when Mahomes couldn't just play Lord and Savior every play, and wasn't getting the protection he needed, and that's how that works. But it's a double-edged sword in the NFL, and I think the Niners are, in my mind, the best example out there. The smartest move that the Yorks made, Jed and company, were getting John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan and just joining them at the hip back when they did, giving them like 6-year contracts to 8-year contracts, and they keep renewing them along the way here, and they keep them tied up like that.
Agreed.
It avoids all the BS, all the ego crap. If you're dependent on the other guy and the other guy is dependent on you, and you have a common vision, you can get a hell of a lot done. So just look at their personnel decisions. I think they have 11 picks in the draft. And one of the reality is, if that combination of guys are that good at identifying, specific job descriptions for their football teams, and they're that good at identifying the players to fit those jobs, you're going to see the results that you have. You're going to see the results that guys are going to be all pro. No one predicts a Mr. Irrelevant to be, one of the top quarterbacks in the league. That's just luck. But, obviously luck's pretty expensive too.
Now in this market.
And you've got to keep planning that out. And I think what they did early in that association, which really helped them out, was they kept renewing, and they're still doing this. They're young players. You're watching their young guys, 2 years into their stage, they're showing themselves to be all pro types, and they're extending them 3, 4, 5 years out and adding on to that rookie deal. And that, I think, has also been a smart move by them, not letting all those contracts push into the same kind of years. But there's only so much, even with that magic calculator that is the NFL salary cap, there you can fudge and BS all over the place.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes there's nowhere you can go, and that's what leads to losing to Debo and losing to some of the other guys that they've lost.
Let me ask you this real quick. This is a quick follow-up, JB. You mentioned, that one of the best things the Niners have done is be able to keep Lynch and Shanahan, kind of tied together at the hip and make sure that there's no issues with losing either one of them. What do you say for those people out there in media who may criticize Shanahan for not being able to win the big game? Do you feel like is there any argument for saying that Shanahan's overrated? I'm a big fan of Kyle Shanahan's and an incredible job. What's your take on him, though?
Yeah, I mean, you can't fight that. You've got to own that until you prove it wrong. And until further notice, he's a really, really good and excellent NFL coach, but just has not paid off that ultimate game.
Yeah, can't get over the hump. Thanks for answering that great question. Because
that's the reality.
Right,
right.
But he is an excellent coach, though. Well, yeah, gotcha.
But he's kind of right now, though. We could argue he's overrated because he got to get that big win because he's competing against a guy like Sean McVay, who's actually won it in his division, right?
That's true.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's also competing with how many guys that are current active coaches have actually won a Super Bowl title.
No doubt.
That's who he's competing with.
Hello.
Yeah. No doubt.